reported earlier tonight. Here's the statement issued by Pentagon spokesman Jonathan Hoffman. At approximately 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 7th, Iran launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles against U.S. military and coalition forces in Iraq. It is clear that these missiles were launched from Iran and targeted at least 2 Iraqi military bases hosting U.S. military and coalition personnel at Al-Asad and Erbil. We are working on initial battle damage assessments. I spoke to a senior U.S. military source in Baghdad as the attack was underway. This was the message I received during the attack. Quote, under missile attack from Iran. These are either cruise missiles or short-range ballistic missiles all over the country. Among those U.S. bases targeted, Al-Asad Air Base in western Anbar province and a base in Erbil. Defense Secretary Mark Esper spoke to Pentagon reporters earlier today and said that the U.S. would not be pulling out of Iraq. The White House is now hosting the National Security Team in the Situation Room. They will be briefing the president on the latest intelligence and deciding how to respond. Shannon?
Jennifer Griffin from the Pentagon. Thank you very much, Jennifer. So, of course, earlier today, the president put Iran on notice about carrying out just the kind of attacks we're seeing tonight. For the latest now from the White House, let's check in with Fox News correspondent Mark Meredith. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Shannon. Both the White House and congressional leaders tell Fox News they're watching the developments out of Iran and Iraq very closely. The Pentagon putting out a pretty detailed statement within the last hour, matching what Jennifer was just reporting, saying that more than a dozen ballistic missiles were used in the attack and that the targets included 2 bases hosting troops, Al-Asad and in Erbil. The Pentagon right now working on a damage assessment, and these bases, as Jennifer mentioned, were already on high alert. Now, we did get a statement from White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham. She says, we are aware of the reports of attacks on U.S. facilities in Iraq. The president has been briefed and is monitoring the situation closely and consulting with his national security team. Now, we've also learned that Vice President Mike Pence has spoken with congressional leaders by phone to give them the latest information. We know that includes House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and the White House says the decision to brief Congress was at the president's request. Now, a number of lawmakers, Shannon, are already reacting to this news in real time, including online, many offering their prayers and support for U.S. troops, and one senator going even further, saying no attack against U.S. personnel will be taken lightly. Shannon?
All right, Mark Meredith, the latest out of the White House. And as he mentioned, we are hearing from folks on Capitol Hill tonight because, of course, the next question becomes, what is the next move in this escalating, very tension-filled situation involving the U.S., Iran, Iraq, a region that is very much in a troubled state tonight? As we watch and wait, we will soon hear from other lawmakers on the Hill, many of them saying tonight it all depends on whether U.S. personnel or allies are injured. We'll stand by, bringing more. Analysis continues now on Fox News Channel, on cable and satellite.